Welcome to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast, where we talk about all things to growing your business in Sahuarita. Enjoy this episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast. I'm Alex Magallanes, Economic Development Specialist for the town of Sahuarita and the lead for the Grow in Sahuarita program. So today, we're excited to spotlight one of our Grow in Sahuarita clients, Easy Go Junk Removal, founded by Gary and Joanne Noland. Easy Go Junk Removal is not just about clearing out unwanted items. It's about making a positive impact in the community. They help homeowners, renters, property managers, contractors, and businesses clear out any unwanted items. They also help them regain usable space and move forward without the stress and heavy lifting. So now, one thing I love about Gary and Joanne is that their mission is simple, yet powerful, to serve others while giving back. So with more than 955 star reviews, guys, wow, their reputation speaks for itself. Their goal is simple again, is just make junk removal easy, stress-free, and meaningful. Gary and Joanne, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Alex. We appreciate you having us here.
Thank you, Alex, for having us.
It's exciting to have you both here. I think I've known you since almost the inception of the program, so thank you guys for being here. And I'd like to start with your origin story. What inspired you both to start Easy Go Junk Removal? And how did the mission of serving others while giving back became such a central part of your business?
Well, it is an interesting story. It actually started when I was in Florida, and I was in between a business that I owned. I had sold it, and looking for another opportunity. And a friend of mine, while working out in the gym, he goes, "Hey, there's this TED podcast that I think you should listen to."
Oh, wow.
And I kind of blew him off. I go, yeah. And he goes, "No, Gary," and he was kind of a community leader.
Okay.
And he goes, "No, Gary, this is really important. I think this is right up your alley." And so literally 2 months later, he made me promise I watch this thing. And so it was a TED Talk by Brian Scuddermore, who owned Got Junk, and developed it. And I'm probably one of a handful of small-time companies like we are that do not hate the big guys, because without the big guys, we'd all be Stanford and Son.
True.
Here we are, showing up in a jalopy and just throwing metal and junk and being that. But no, he added this whole genre and paved the way for people to follow him through. And so once I started that TED Talk, within 10 minutes, I'm doing demographics.
Oh, wow.
And I'm, listening to it, and I'm on the computer, and
Truly
I'm just
inspire you.
Yeah, it really did. And first thing I knew, it wasn't going to work where I was. And so Joanne and I started looking for another location.
Okay.
And we found that Southern Florida, the Green Valley, Sahuarita, Tucson area could really use our services, and we could be an integral part of those communities.
Yeah.
And so that was the origin. So we made that trip from Florida to Arizona, and we haven't looked back. So
Wow.
I started it, and of course, when you start a business, it doesn't just happen. And this is a big thing with, being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You have to have money coming in.
Absolutely.
So at 60 years old, I went to work for Amazon
Oh, wow.
at night. So it was 10:30 to 4:30, sometimes up to 6, depending on how big how much truck you have to unload, which was great training ground for somebody who's going to be loading trucks to unload them. And so I worked there for about 6-8 months. And I would go home, sleep 2 hours, wake up very diligently, and start putting stuff online, making connections.
Wow.
Going to bed around 3, waking
Wow.
up at 8, getting to work by 10. And these are that was the trick. But there really is no trick to hard work. It's just, you put it in.
Yeah. That really, your story, like the true entrepreneurial story, it's a lot of things that a lot of people go into business thinking it's going to be easy because I know I'm pretty good with it, but like you said, has to be resources coming in.
So I love the movie Field of Dreams, and it's a fantastic movie, but if you build it, they will come does not happen.
Yeah.
Because people, and what I mean by that, if you just build a stadium, they're not going to just come. You have to build the whole system. And having the truck, having the trailer, having the dump truck or a box truck, that's only that's the easiest part of business. The rest of it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you just have to and you can't do it all at once. So all of these are like, putting together a puzzle. And every business is a different puzzle, and especially with different people.
Yeah.
So they have this ability because we have an insight track to who we are. We have an ability to see that puzzle, and if we're diligent and we work hard and we put all the pieces together, we end up with a product.
Yeah.
And that's what our goal is.
Yeah. So, Joanne, I'd like to hear your part of the experience, right? Where you thinking, this man is crazy, this is crazy. You're making a big move from state to state and starting a business. What was your experience like?
Well, not only the business, the reason that we decided to come to Southern Arizona is because we had a long distance relationship. I was in Texas.
Oh, wow.
And Gary was in Florida when we met. And so when we decided to get married, he doesn't like the big city, and I have a hard time breathing in the humidity in Florida. And so he always wanted to come to Arizona. Mm-hmm. So he said, why don't we go check it out? And we see if our business will be suitable there.
Yeah.
And so we came, we saw, and then we saw the need, mm-hmm. and we decided to move here and start our lives together and then start the business.
Wow, what a beautiful story. So that's really, truly an example of entrepreneurship, because it involves not just the business of thinking all the logistics, right? It sounds like you had to do some market research. And
we did. When we came and visited the area, we visited every Chamber of Commerce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We sat down with people, we visited them, and we got the lay of the land. So we met with Oro Valley, Marana, Tucson, Green Valley, Sahuarita.
Yeah.
So we were on a business trip. It was really a business trip. We needed to know.
On top of starting a new family.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of pieces moving at the same time. That's a beautiful story, truly. I think your guys' story really involves what entrepreneurship is all about. It's not just starting a business, but you still have moving parts in your personal life that you have to take care of. And so you guys are the example of that. One of the things that really stands out about Easy Go Junk Removal is that you guys are not just about hauling items away. So one of the things you mentioned to me at some point is that you're intentionally setting aside items that still have life, and then you're connecting those items with local nonprofits. Can you talk about that process, how that process works, and why it matters to you?
Absolutely. There a lot of people, especially in our... Let's just look at this local area in Sahuarita and Green Valley. These are small communities.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think everybody here is doing very well. And the reality is there's some people just scraping by.
Right.
This is near and dear to my heart, because when I was young and being raised by a single mom, we lived on the fact that people gave beds, TVs, and these were black and white. But this goes back to when people were getting new color TVs, and what do we do? Well, the Nolands would get a black and white TV, and it was meaningful. It made a difference, especially in a young boy's life, and it's literally happening all around us. people struggle. And people are looking for, either a bed or a couch or a television. And we come across this stuff all the time. And when you throw them away, it's meaningless. If you can find a home for it, there's not only purpose, but there's a meaning behind it. Yeah. And it's a communal thing.
So I hear that you guys have partnerships with like organizations like Friends Indeed, Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, Restore, Salvation Army, Gospel Rescue Mission, and how all this fits in your work. I mean, you're busy.
I like to say it's a silent, because it's not like we show up and say, hey, we're easy go, here we go. We make these donations very quietly, meaning if you were to add for the five and a couple of months, years old company that we are, if you were to add up just Friends Indeed, what we've taken over,
wow.
It's got to be 6, 7 of our truckloads. You've seen our trucks.
Yes.
Of canes, wheelchairs, walkers, etc. And I mean, it just kind of goes in, drizzles in, but the cumulative effect is massive. It's the same thing with the White Elephant, the Animal League. Whenever we drop stuff off, we've done truckloads to the Gospel Rescue Mission that they've picked up in the past, and they have a select list of items that they want, and they know what they don't want. And so we've been able to work with that. Vacuums, certain sizes of bed work, others don't. Certain sizes of couches, they only want love seats and smaller.
Got it.
Because they have to hike this stuff up.
Yeah.
In their used to be a hotel.
Right.
So when we donate, I take the time.
Yeah.
When it's big items, Gary helps, but I go through every single item and make sure that it's good to me. Because when we donate, we don't donate just
junk, right?
Junk.
It has to be. Yeah.
Like, for instance, Vietnam vets, they need a lot of clothing and shoes. And so, like, sometimes we get truck full of clothes. And, those are thousands of clothing, right?
Yeah.
I make sure I go through one by one.
Yeah.
Make sure there's no stain, no rip.
Yeah.
And those we get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then only the nice
Yeah.
items we make sure we pack and get ready for them. So it's extra step for us.
Yeah.
But then we do it because we care.
Yeah.
And we are part of this community. And, we always look for how else can we serve our community.
What a better way than not just being a local business and then obviously family founded and operated, and then also just reinvesting of yourselves back into the community. I heard that you guys got a second box truck.
We did.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so what led you guys into that decision?
Well, a couple of things. We kept running into jobs that people would call us and say, yeah, we want to donate this stuff, but the donation centers are 5+ weeks out.
Wow.
That's a big inconvenience. Either it goes out to the garage or it goes outside, gets soiled, or they have to live within their house of this stuff that they've replaced because the new stuff has come in, et cetera. And so we kept running into that. Well, with the dump truck, it's very hard to take junk and good stuff and keep it separated and still be able to serve. And this allows us, if the opportunity shows up, it allows us to show up not only with one truck, but two, and put the things that are donatable in the box truck. And that's the other thing is the donation centers, they're only going to pick up what they deem donatable.
Got it.
EasyGo is going to come and pick up everything.
Okay.
And the reality is not everything is donatable. We run into it all the time where somebody say, oh, this couch is really donatable. It's only got a tear here. And you look at the tear, and then you look at the cat claws. And, the way, and I'm not being uppity here, but if it's not good for us, I'm not going to pass that on to somebody. I'm going to pass on something, as Joanne said, that I might want.
Yeah.
And because that makes a big difference than getting a cardboard box to live in versus a home. These things really matter.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing too is a lot of your work happens during major life moments. So, in this community, we have a lot of people who are moving. They're here for a few months, maybe a couple of years, and then they get moved because of work purposes. Sometimes they're downsizing. There's obviously estate cleanouts, home sales. So a lot of difficult family transitions. How do you approach those jobs with compassion while still keeping the process efficient and professional?
Well, fortunately, we've been doing this for a long time, and one of the things we have run into is people have different personalities, and those personalities will govern the way we deal with people.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's and we're dealing with different cultures, and people go, but yeah, within the U.S. the Southern culture is very different than the Northeast, and the Midwest is very different than the West, and the Northwest is different than the West.
Yeah.
And so we have all these people that seem to arrive here in the Green Valley Sahuarita area with very different mindsets, very different politics, very different religions, everything
all
is
different backgrounds.
All different backgrounds.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it allows us to actually plug in to people on a really cool basis.
Wow.
Because because it's a learning thing.
Yeah.
Customer service, as you know, your whole business with the town is service.
Right.
From the police to the fire to the happenings at City Hall,
Yeah.
et cetera. It's all about service.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with the same thing. People are coming from all over, really all over the world.
Yeah.
It's just we're a mecca for that.
Yeah.
And so with that in mind, this is what me and Joanne really strive is how can we better serve? How do our services impact people, regardless of where they come from, who they are, how they are, etc.
Yeah.
And so we're constantly massaging our abilities to connect because in business, just like in governing, it does come down to being able to connect with human beings.
Yeah.
And seeing them on their playing ground.
Yeah.
This isn't our playing ground.
Yeah.
When we are invited into somebody's home, property, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
You don't want just anybody showing up at your home.
Yeah.
And so you have to, we show up with a uniform. We're very lettered. We're insured. We're, licensed, et cetera, right? And you don't want just anybody just showing up because you don't know really what you're getting.
True.
And also, when we show up, we just introduce ourselves and we take a few minutes to get to know the customer in a personal level.
Yeah.
And when they call to make an appointment, most people, they tell us what their needs are or what they're going through. So we have that in mind.
Yeah.
And then when we get there, we start a conversation so that they can feel a little more at ease and whatever they're going through, they're not going to get judged.
Right.
We're just there to help them.
Yeah.
And they feel that.
Yeah.
And so that's a plus because we have heard in the past that, other companies, they just come and, take the stuff and give me the money, I'm out of here.
Right.
We don't like to do that because, we like to serve, we like to get to know people, and through this business, we have met so many unique people, and otherwise we will never meet, right?
Yeah. So in this question, you guys have given so much gold when it comes to business because you guys are touching on points on not only customer service, but sales process, what the experience is within that sales funnel, right? And so those are things that any business owner needs to have and kind of think it through. But one of the things that I love that you both are really saying is because we do get people from all backgrounds and really all over the nation to Sahuarita, and a lot of people don't realize that. We do have them coming here, being a local business and given that level of customer experience. It's almost like a welcome to town, whether you're leaving or you just move into another house within the town limits. And so for those of you who are listening, I mean, if you're a business owner, you're thinking how to do business within the community, think about the things that Gary and Joanne are saying, because it's not just about the numbers. It's not just about making a sale. It's really you're seeing your customers as human beings. And yes, there's a transaction right in between. That's why you're in business. But getting to know your customers, it's precious. And so I really love that. Thank you guys for communicating all that to our listeners. So you built an incredible reputation, that I know, and obviously it's showing on your Google reviews, over 955-star Google reviews. That's beautiful. And so obviously that doesn't happen by accident, and I can tell that you guys are very service-oriented, and you do really business with your heart. So what do you think has contributed the most to this level of customer trust in your business?
Well, I was thinking about that, and I had a company back in Florida that I had sold.
Okay.
And the people that bought my company hired me to run the new division. And I wound up leaving that division because, and they were a very, $10 million company, big monies, and for that area anyway. And so I wound up leaving, and the guy asked me why. And it was because he never finished up. He would promise, and now it was my name with my old customers.
Yeah.
He would promise the moon and rarely deliver dirt. And it really bothered me. And he goes, "Why are you leaving?" And I go, "Because I've never worried about money like you do. I've always taken care of my customers. And my customers have always taken care of the money." That's just me and Joanne's motto. We don't stress out about, am I going to make enough here? The bottom line is service. The bottom line is community, and the bottom line is connection. Without any one of those, you just have a generic thing. And anybody can go out there and make $1.
Wow.
But making connections, that's huge. So as we make those connections, we ask people to give us a review. Everybody gets asked.
Yeah.
The amount of people that do that, we're so thankful for. Because actually it's our customers' way of communicating to our potential customers.
Right.
And it never goes away. And we get that on a daily basis, right?
Yes, we do. And as a matter of fact, we get calls and people say, "We read your reviews.
Wow.
We don't want to hire anybody else."
That's beautiful.
When can you come in service?
Beautiful way to pay it forward, right? From a customer perspective.
Yes.
From customers, and they go beyond and they go, we've done Yelp. We've never asked for a Yelp.
Oh, that's crazy.
Or Facebook. We don't ask for them, and they just do it.
Wow.
But that, Alex, that's, again, you can look at the town, you can look at a business, you can look at the police force. It doesn't matter. It really comes down to connecting with people. I have a service that you can get from 15 different companies.
Yeah.
And I want to stick out, not because I want more and more and more, because there's enough for everybody. I want to stick out because I'm somebody who cares. Somebody who wants to make a difference in people's lives.
Wow.
And we do. The coolest thing about this job is I've never got to a job where people go, you guys. They are always happy to see us because we're gonna solve a problem for them, right?
Yeah.
And another thing that I want to add to that, Gary, is that people that read our reviews, they just don't read couple of, they read like almost
Oh, yeah.
throughout the whole.
Yeah, that's a given. I mean,
And
I'm a consumer. I'm going to do that too.
And we all do that, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, actually, after we finish the job, they reaffirm us that the reviews are legit,
Wow.
and they're so happy that they hired us, and that's very rewarding for
Absolutely.
for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think those are the perks of entrepreneurship, right? It's
Yep.
sometimes you
Feedback.
just working, and it's like, am I building something? What's happening? And then when you get that feedback from customers, it's like, okay, yes. We're
Yes.
going the right direction.
Yes.
And so looking back on your journey, obviously you've had ups and downs, right? So what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned that you would tell an entrepreneur right now?
Don't worry about, my biggest lesson is do not worry about your competition. Do not think about your competition. Don't put them on the same table. Because once you start focusing on what other people are doing, you are not focusing on what you are doing. And this was a huge lesson for me.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, and it because it's a hurdle. And all you're doing is building a wall
Yeah.
from your vision, right? We all have these vision boards. We all have
Yes.
these plans.
Yes.
And, and if you don't make a plan, because it's like really super important, but once you start looking at the people that do what you do, you are wasting time, you are wasting effort, and you are not focused on what you are building. It's just like a marriage, it's just like a friendship. You start meddling and things start deteriorating. It's just like anything else. You buy a house and you think everything's good.
Right.
In 20 years, you've already painted that house. You've replaced a water heater. You've maybe put a air conditioner in.
Yep.
You're constantly working on it.
Yeah.
If I'm focused on the neighbors and say, yeah, they need this or they need that, or they look at them, they put a new, then I'm not focused on what's going on. And if I turn back around, I'm looking at a dilapidated structure.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with business. You have to focus on what you're doing. You have to till the soil, and it's really important, wouldn't you?
Yes, and you just gotta say, good for you,
Yes.
and focus on your goals. Because, if you focus on other people, instead of widening your horizon, you're going narrow. And then you don't see the opportunity that is in front of you.
That being said, I also I have probably, there's a good 5 junk removal companies that are my mentors.
Wow.
And there are several more people in that genre that are also mentors. This is, I told you earlier that we're rebuilding our website
Yes.
completely.
Yeah.
Well, I got that connection from a guy that I know in Houston. And he gave me a great connection to some people in Mexico that are building my website. And I absolutely love these connections. When I bump into something that I've never bumped into, I can call these people and say, you ever run into this? So mentorship is huge. And, I'm sure we're going to get into this. Your mentorship through Growing Sahuarita was very pertinent to our growth.
Thank you.
And our knowledge and our ability to expand.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I always think of, as a business coach or advisor, about what potential competitors, but you just put it in a perspective that it's just amazing. So, look at other companies that are probably a bit longer around. They're in the same field, but you can look at them as mentors, and that's great. And so, Gary and Joanne, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing the story behind Easy Go Junk Removal. What is the best way to get a hold of you? People want your services. Obviously, they can find you on Google, right? There's a lot of reviews.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're listening, you're needing this kind of services, go and look them up. Read those reviews. You can see that their service is top-notch. And so how can people get a hold of you?
Well, probably the easiest way is through the telephone, and that would be 520-833-3964. Check our Facebook out.
Okay.
Also, we have a YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. We're on just about, our website is Tucson Junk Calling.
Okay.
And that's for the Google gods because they like certain words and
SEO.
keywords.
SEO, baby. Yes, absolutely.
And so we try to be out there on every platform we can possibly be.
Yeah.
And so, and that's the new world.
Yeah.
You don't want to ignore the old world, and that is the physical connections. But you don't want to be afraid of the new world, and that is the digital world.
Yeah.
And so you want them talking to each other as much as
And
possible.
it's true. I can testify to that. I always come across on my feed, because I follow you guys, but your reels are so much fun. I love that.
Gary is very creative.
Yeah, you guys are getting into AI, some cool stuff out there. So yeah, I can definitely testify to that. You guys are not afraid of technology, and that's good. As an entrepreneur or entrepreneurs out there, definitely listen to these words. And I hope this conversation reminds you that small businesses are not just economic engines. They're really built by people with values, stories, and a desire to serve. And so obviously, as you can hear or listen, is Easy Go Junk Removal is a great example of what happens when a business combines professionalism, compassion, and purpose. And as always, if you are a small business owner in Sahuarita, or you're thinking about starting one here in town, we have the Grow in Sahuarita program that is here to support you. It is a no-cost program to you, and you can always reach us at anytime at grow@sahuaritaaz.gov. Again, that is grow@sahuaritaaz.gov. Thank you again both for joining us in this podcast. Any last remarks?
Yeah, actually, if you get a chance, definitely check out Grow in Sahuarita. It was a game changer for us.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to need to reconnect because we're at that next level.
Yeah.
And you offer everything from A to Z.
Yeah.
And it was a game changer for us. And the mentorship, again, mentorship is everything. And the mentorship that the town of Sahuarita has given us is we unbelievable worth.
Thank you, guys.
And no, we appreciate that. So if you're starting out, definitely contact Sahuarita. They can cut through the tape, the things, they see things that you're going to run into, and they can help you out a great deal.
Awesome.
Not only the new startup company,
Yeah.
Yes.
even people that are already in business.
Yes.
And if you want to take your business to the next level, this is a great opportunity to connect with Alex so that you can bump up and have more success to your business.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, there you go,
Thank you.
guys. You heard it, and we'll see you guys next time.